Hi, so I went to the Moco Museum, which I didn't even know anything about. This time it was actually a surprise. And I'm going to show you around this one, which is in Amsterdam, Barcelona and London, where it's got the likes of Kusama, Warhol, Basit, Hurst, Coons, Haring and Tracy, which you know I'm going to love, and a little bit Louis Bourgeois. So let's have a look together. So you pass the glass entrance where you see Damian Hurst, and the first room you actually go into, you're actually approached by Coons. This one I thought was really fun because, especially if you go with people who are not familiar with his work, they may just feel like these are inflatables and not realise this is made from aluminium and actually painted. So something completely different from what's expected. It's a lovely quote from Coons, and then this particular one, which I thought was a photograph, and I looked at it carefully and I realised it's actually painted, which is incredible with photorealism. And then one of his famous dog sculptures and Disney's donkey. This was the piece I was talking about by Damian Hurst, that you approach past a glass hallway while entering the building, and you can come and see it in another room. And this is one of his Hurst's butterflies collections, where it's kind of kaleidoscope, almost done as mandala and chapels, and I just love this work. I featured the butterfly work before in a previous video. Moving along now to next to that, you straight away shots with Keith Haring. So you've got all these masterpieces in one place, from Coons to Hurst to now we're on Haring, and looking at this amazing piece that goes on for quite a while in size, and this one does as well. This was really fun to look at, and what I actually enjoyed looking at is also looking at with family members as well, where some of them were younger and seeing their interpretations, like this one by Kusama, where a family member in their teens had actually commented how they actually thought this looked like semen and eggs, which I kind of agreed, and liked actually how a teenager studying biology had spotted that microscopic detail, and when you read the details on the actual bit, and it is actually about microscopic atoms, saying it all wrong now. And then moving on to this next one, which was a cart. This one was with calcite and also other healing crystals. All these kind of ones are really good for actually throat chakras, voice and cleansing. And when you actually look at it with the actual pulse which is destroyed, it then tells you it's a 1980s vintage Porsche, which would have been like dilapidated and falling apart, and filled into those gaps was healing crystals. And I really like that energy, the idea of something that was falling apart is resalvaged and designed in this way. It was, I really wanted to touch it, to be honest. It was very tactile, and also looked like you would get hurt if you touch it as well, with certain crystals looking almost like shards coming out. I'm not a car fan, and this I was very excited with, I'm not going to lie. And it was also nice to see an artist that I wasn't as aware of, Daniel Arsham. I've seen the name but not really seen the pieces. Going on to Jean-Michel Basquiat, where we're looking at a few pieces here, and what was really lovely is seeing this kind of piece which kind of went to his traditions of where he's from and his mother. It reminded me of reading about him, and then looking at pieces like here which got a strong reaction from one of my family members who didn't enjoy it as much as I did. And I love seeing this piece, which was called The Bicycle, and I'd never seen Basquiat's work like this before, which was a little bit different from a style that I'm used to, and I enjoyed seeing this. Moving on to a classic, Pablo Picasso, looking at these brush strokes, and just to think how spoiled in one small space you are from all the artists that I've just mentioned. And right next to Picasso we move on to Warhol, which is a complete paradox. I love seeing these shoes, especially because if anyone knows about Warhol's history, he did lots of fashion illustrations, and shoes and cats was two big ones for him. This is a camouflage self-portrait of him, and this was really beautiful to see in real life as well. Moving on to Hurst again, where we're going on to the medicine theme of his pills and his pharmacy work. So what I like also about this place is it was very family friendly. It was also very friendly if you're new to seeing art and you just want to see the great masters all in one place and see contemporary art and have some brief explanations of what each movement was about, and also a bit about the artists, with great quotes, and also collections like where we've got this Louis Bourgeois plate, which I'm not going to lie, this wall of plates terrified me with the kids running around, not in just general in the space, but it was all controlled very well. This is a beautiful piece of Kate Moss by Chris Lervin, and I love the 360 feel of this. I believe he done one like with a Queen like this in the past, and then you can see more images of the Queen as well there in a different format. So the space looks at different contemporaries, and then Robbie Williams, yes, for Take That Singer. I heard that he was doing art. I'm not going to lie, did a bit of an eye roll. But when I saw this, I actually really liked this, and I liked the mixtape cassette idea with his history of music and reading what these ones actually said. It was lyrically funny, including actually a little bit interesting, like this socially uncomfortable. And then moving on to another artist, I quite liked the Democracy Under Attack and You've Got to Look at Yourself as a Reflection, and this is by Mango Thompson. And moving on to this particular piece, this was made out of like a plasticine, and the fact that this is sculptured to be one kind of big rock tablet, and you've got all these kind of contemporary pieces, as we just saw Miffy. We're seeing some other bits you probably will spot that I've not even mentioned. Furby, Dr. Pepper. It really gives you a 90s nostalgia, and it's by Friends With You, and that's just it, it's an overview, so you have to go closer to look at the sculpture as a whole. Now we are looking at Bangi, and I like this piece on a still plate, and also this is not a photo opportunity, which exactly is what I was doing. And then we go on to this quote here, and then we're going into Marina Albrecht's space. This one personally excited me. As I was with people, I've done the Royal Academy with Albrecht, but I didn't have anyone who would be able to film me in different positions doing bits. So I had a family member do this, which was quite fun to actually do this, because the last one I went solo to, and this worked with the interaction. It was also very nice just to sit there with a family member in one of the bits and look at each other's healing energy in opposite chairs. Not this one, but they had other chairs you could do it in. Look at the idea of balance and healing energies, and how Maria believes that actually these frequencies can come across in art and cleanse and heal trauma and space. And if any of you who watch this do believe in any healing crystals, you'll probably understand some of this as well, and if you don't, it's still an interesting concept, as you could pause back on that quote there. And this was a bench that we sat in between as well, and I really just love this idea. Moving on to my favourite and dearest Tracy. I mean, the closest I am to love is you. With you, I want to love. Beautiful neons, classic of Emin. And moving into another space now, which was quite fun because this was interactive with family, and it had space and sound and light, and it really played well on the camera, actually better than it did in person.
Oh, look down, guys.
And over my excitement of that room, we're going into another room, which I really love the space and the peacefulness of here. And moving on finally to the Chapman Brothers. It's Jake Chapman, the rug on the background with the actual Extinction Rebellion kind of theme, and then the brothers have done the sculptures of the children with the animals merging, almost feeling a bit like Netflix Sweet Tooth. Not sure which came first, this or that show actually, I'm just thinking. If you know, drop me a comment. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked that, and watch out for next Wednesday's video. Leave me your comments. I love watching them, and this one I really think you can go with a family. It's a good one. I don't normally say that for a family one, and it did work because we did that with my family and it really worked well. So hope you enjoy.